The French president's trying to quell weeks of violence by offering an olive branch to his angry nation. After 4 weekends of nationwide protests, Emmanuel Macron made a dramatic statement.
I am declaring a state of economic and social emergency. I accept my share of responsibility.
An initial attempt to appease the revolt failed. The so-called Yellow Vest protests continued even when the government scrapped a fuel tax hike. In his first public address since the unrest, Macron bowed to other demands like tax concessions and a minimum wage rise.
I may have given the impression that it wasn't my concern, that I had other priorities. I also know that my words may have hurt some of you.
A very humble tone of speech from President Macron as he addressed the French nation on Monday evening, saying that people had the legitimate right to protest, but there was no legitimate right for the violence that had been seen over the last few weeks. Macron also warned the country was facing a social and economic crisis.
Because of this crisis, I want to reconcile with you. Salaries will increase by €100 in 2019, at no extra cost to employers. Overtime will not be taxed, and I will ask all employers to pay an end-of-year bonus. This will not be taxed, and there will be no social payments. For pensioners receiving less than €2,000, the tax increase will be cancelled, as we had planned.
But many people will be questioning why it took President Macron almost 4 weeks to address the nation. Many people saying this address should have come much before, and wondering why it took so much violence before he decided to address the problem directly. Will these measures, these offerings, be enough? Well, it's difficult to say, but one thing that many of the protesters may not be happy with is the fact that Macron refused to roll back on one of the taxes that they wanted changes. These were the reforms that he made to the wealth tax.
Some want me to go back on the wealth tax. This has been around for 40 years. It has caused people to leave our country. We can't go back. We won't. We need to create jobs.
13-minute speech to the nation on Monday night, described by many as being Macron's moment of truth. Will it be enough to quell the social tensions, the people who are unhappy here in France, the Gilets jaunes, to stop them from taking to the streets once more?
I think he's getting scared and is feeling the heat, and that's it. He's lost all credibility and people don't trust him. He must leave, get out.
Very nice speech, but I don't trust him at all, and we need proof. In any case, we're staying here as long as we don't have clear signs.
13 minutes since November 17th. That's not a lot of minutes compared to the number of days we've been here. But there were a few reassuring elements. He took one big first step. He has many more to take.
The Yellow Vest protesters are not the only ones who have demands for Macron. Students opposing academic changes are expected to stage a new round of demonstrations later on Tuesday. Independent journalist Robert Harness believes the concessions President Macron is offering will not be enough to end the deep civil unrest in France.
He's got to solve this problem. We can't have a situation every weekend where mobs go down the Champs-Élysées smashing the place up and all the hotels are empty. That cannot be allowed to continue. Is he going to change his strategy? Because he's been the great European. Well, if he continues with these policies of spending money, then he has to change his policy regarding the euro. And already the euro is in danger of exploding. So is he suddenly going to turn his back on Europe and say, well, the Germans aren't helping, they won't contribute anything, so we just have to go our own way. I don't know. I mean, the implications of what he's done are massive, because it means that he's completely turned away from the policies on which he got elected.